Hi everybody, welcome to part 8. I've put the top coat on. I made up all the colours, as you can see behind me, to do digital camo as well. But this is with the top coat over the white, black and white method. I've hardly done any post shading, just the smallest little bit on the highest part, like here, just on here, things like that, but not much else. So literally you just go over it at a distance with the airbrush, not too close because you'll fill it, and then yeah, you get this. And I just like doing it this way. I think it looks cool, sort of thing. Oh, by the way, sorry I look like a mobile hanging basket. I forgot I was wearing this shirt. So if you're watching the video and it's a bit distracting, I do apologise. I've tried to cut it out as much as possible. I've been banned from going to the pub because people keep trying to water me. So yeah, so there we go. If you can see the highlights and everything. So I'm pleased with that. This is the paint that I've mixed up for the digital camouflage. It's this one, which is like a sand yellow. That's a mix of red, brown and whole red. That is desert yellow with white. No, German dark yellow, you know, the Tamiya one. I'll put it in the description down below. And this was full when I started spraying this. So that's how much paint you use on one of these. This is enough to just do a bit more highlights and stuff. Yeah, and that's just NATO black, Tamiya NATO black. I've just pre-thinned it in one of my little pre-clean bottles. So yeah, and I'll put the ratios and everything in the description, but normally I do about 50-50 paint to thinner, or if I really want to, is 60% thinner, 40% paint. And then I also put in some gloss and the Tamiya retarder thinner, the orange top one, because what I want to do is spray this on so it stays wet when I'm spraying it from a distance. If you use the old Tamiya acrylic stuff, the alcohol, I said propyl alcohol, what it's called. It literally dries in the air, and that's when you get that really rough paint feeling. It's dried in the air before it's hit. I want my paint to be wet when it hits, and then just build up layers. And hence, when you build up the layers over the black and white, you get this, which I think is acceptable. And then I've got to do the digital camouflage, which I've got to work out. It's quite hard to find pictures. I'm designing this on one that I found pictures of driving into Bergamot, at the beginning of that, and it looks kind of cool. The funny thing the Ukrainians do as well, they don't paint on the rubber. The rubber stays rubber. The Russians just paint straight over the rubber, like on that T-72. So they paint here on the rubber. It's really good. But yeah, so there we go. We'll crack on with part 8. You can see how I've done it. If you don't want to, turn off now. I don't blame you. You may all be violently sick because of the shirt. I am sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest with you. But anyway, look, have fun, and I will see you for the next part, which is part 9, which should be the digital camouflage. And I might just make a little video on that, how to do it, but nothing long, because this has got long again. I'm so sorry. I'll see you soon. Have a nice day. Oh, let's put this. Oh God, this is heavy. Right, I've loaded up my airbrush and with paint. Remember to put the lid on, and then we're going to go from here. And like I say, I might do a sped up version again of this, but if it's not, if it goes on too long, I'll be a bit more selective. Okay, so let me just, there you go. there. I mean, how quick was that? And I think that looks acceptable. And I don't even have to mask them out. Now, anybody shout if they can see anything I've missed. There we go. And if you're worried about paint layers, it doesn't matter because I'm going to lock this all down with varnish anyway. So this is not the surface it's going to be worked on. This is just basically the very first coat of colour, and then everything else will be going on from there. Right. Okay, I'm going to speed this up again from this point, and I'm going to do the rest of the hull and everything else. And I think that's pretty acceptable. When you do these, make sure that the barrel's fully out, because it's nothing worse if the barrel's all the way in, you don't realise, and then you get a lovely mistake. Right, back again. There we go. There's the lower hole down. Together. I mean the top hole. You see? That's why I do it. I know a lot of people think this is hideously old-fashioned. And who would you look for? You should put it on the other one. You should do the paint first, then just put the highlighter colour onto the black. But this way, I can see my vision that I want for the tank in black and white. And then when I put this on, it just makes it so much easier for me to see what I want from it. So much easier to see what I want from it. And the shadow's in the right place. So it's already done for me. I just got to make sure that I don't put too much paint on. I know people like Night Shift do it the other way, where they, you know, modulate with all different tones. And I probably will do a little bit of highlighting on this as well. But I just find this way easier. And I just find it really satisfying to sort of see the change of greens. I just think it's kind of cool. Yeah, quite like that. Right, okay, I'm going to stop it just for a sec, so I've got to get the tracks off the lower hole and the wooden log, and then I'll show you that bit. Alright, see you in a second. Right, next bit. I have a mask for the wheels. Well, I normally just take them all off, and then I will mask them all up. Well, you know, I'll use this. I won't do them on the tank, but I want to experiment with this, because if this was built in the factory and it was in a rush, and I'm sort of claiming this is a T-72AV, hasn't got the cladding on the roof, but some of them don't, because they've been donated as T-72 export models, and then they've turned them into AVs in Ukraine. That's what I'm saying this is. Believe me, it's probably all complete nonsense, but I'm thinking it would have been painted in a factory, but not with much, you know, care and attention, because, well, they're at war, aren't they? So, let's first of all, though, do these. Typical. I'm out of paint again. But anyway, I'm going to speed it up after this, and then I'll just do it. Hopefully, you can see what I'm doing with the templates. I'll try and turn the side on a bit more, and then I will. I'll spray them without having to take the tyres off. Okay. Hopefully that works like that. that's it all put together. So you can see the modulation, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit of white, or maybe I might use, no, I use white. I was thinking about using a bit of tan. I always use white. That's what it looks like. I'm quite pleased with that. And you see the wheels are fine, I didn't need to strip them off with the rubbers or anything. When I've done it, I'll take the camera off the stand, and I'll do a proper around it. Alright. So anyway, get the log out again. So I've got this the right shape, and let me put, and let me put those other highlights that I always do as well. So pre-shading, post-shading, post-shading. That's right. Alright, back in a sec. Hi everyone. I've now made up a highlight shade, and with just the base coat and white. I know I've only gone to two stages of just really massive highlights, and then just the top coat. But when you do it with the pre-shading and then post-shading, you only have to do a little teeny bit. It just works. I find it works for me. I know a lot of people don't like it in this old fashioned. I know Nightbox does it where you just base coat it black, and then you pre-shade, post-shade everything for every 3 different layers of paint. You add a little bit more, and so on. I don't think I'm going to have to do much to this at all. Let's just make sure my airbrush is working. Do you see a difference? So, Right, there we go. So that's all put together. Here's a bit more close-up shots. And if you can see, I've just done a smallest bit of post shading. The smallest bit. Because the pre-shading really does the job. And it's just, I know it's old-fashioned, and I know people are doing it different ways now. But it's just the black and white method, isn't it? Which was quite trendy. I don't know if it is now. Changes. It's funny, I was, the other day I was looking, there was loads of people using dry brushing. And that supposedly went out with the arc. But I suppose all things change, doesn't it? And so what I'm going to do in a second, I'm going to turn the light off. I think only about 1/16. You try and turn it around on a table and the gun barrel hits into your paintbrush pot. So I think there's depth. I think there's depth. Let's move my paintbrush pot. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now I've got to do the camouflage colours. And also, when it's done, it won't look as stark as this, because there'll be filters on it and chipping and other bits and bobs. You can always go light, and then it can always be made darker, always. But trying to make things lighter gets very tricky. So anyway, I'm now going to turn the light off, and I want you to see what I mean about where the light hits it. Do you see? There's some really bright bits on there, but don't worry about that, because when the filter's on it, that'll be toned right down to give it more depth. So yeah, I won't go on too long because I don't want to bore you to death. Oh, sorry about my shirt. I forgot I was wearing this one, and I just realised it's quite floral, isn't it? I look like a walking hanging basket. Yeah. Look, I'll be back in the next part, wherever it is, of 9. That's probably wrong, I can't remember now. And I'll be putting the camouflage colours on the digital, and then the markings, and then all of the weathering and stuff. I'm quite happy with that. And then I'll put the light back on, and you see, hopefully you saw, that's where the light hits those bricks and everything. That's what I'm trying to reproduce. Anyway, look, wherever you are, have a lovely day. And yeah, if you could like, subscribe and share, that would be absolutely fabulous. And yeah, and if you can't stand it, well, I can understand. Have a nice evening, or wherever it is where you are. Bye.